Hell yo, it's your boy. Welcome here to YouTube. This is my first YouTube update video. Is this mic still on? I hope it's still on. Yes, it's still on. Okay. This is my first YouTube update video. As I mentioned on my Instagram page, I'm moving everything over to YouTube. And this is the first video that I'm doing on YouTube, so stoked about that. If you haven't been to my Instagram page, check it out. There's tons of information on all the parts that I do and a bunch of other videos where I do karate like this. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but here we are on YouTube to discuss the very first update on YouTube. I keep saying YouTube, I don't know why, because maybe I'm excited to be on it, but these are Moto bars. That's right. Clip-Tech Customs is doing Moto bars. So I am stoked on these. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really stoked on these bars. I designed these a while back and I've been searching for someone to manufacture them for me because this is actually kind of hard. It was hard for me to swallow, but this is the first part that I'm not making here in this shop that I will be selling to you guys. And so because of that, I had very strict quality control that I had to do on these bars and make sure that I got the right company to do them and that they came out perfect every time. And so I had to find a shop that can CNC bend the bars for me based off my 3D design perfectly every time throughout a whole batch consistently. So not only that, but I didn't want to outsource it to China or anything. So I had to find someone in Canada to do it, which I did. So I'm working with a shop out of Manitoba called Ritz Machine, and they have been super good with me through this whole process. And today we are here with a prototype bar. And I couldn't be happier. It came out exactly like my specs. And there's a few features about these bars. These bars are pretty close to most of the bars you're gonna find on the market when it comes to Moto bars. But there are a few key differences, and mainly the key difference is that they're coming from me. So when I sell a set of risers to someone, 50% of the time the first question I get is, what bars should I use, or do you sell bars? And I have tried for the life of me to get dealer accounts with different bar companies like ODI and the other ones that I don't mind. And for some reason, they're just really hard to work with, especially for a smaller company like me. A small business, it's hard to work up a deal with companies like that. So I was like, you know what? Fine, I don't even like your bars. Your bars are shit. I'm just gonna make my own. I'll just design my own bars. Your bars are gay. So those are gay bars. These are straight bars. Super cool. Anyway, how I designed these, like I said, is pretty close to a typical Moto bar. The only difference, there's gonna be a few small key differences that I'll go over right now. One of the big ones is, not a lot of bars out there are this, but this is stainless steel, so seamless stainless steel tubing, and it is beautiful. And I'm gonna be offering it in two finishes. We'll go with a polished and with a black powder coated. The polished, I believe, are the cream of the crop, beautiful, because nothing looks cooler on a built motorcycle than stainless steel parts, especially in like a raw or polished like stainless. So the dimensions, so they're gonna be 32 inches wide, which is pretty standard. They're gonna be 4 inches high, which is pretty standard. But when it comes to the pullback, a lot of bars you're gonna be getting around 2.5 inch to 4 inch pullback, depending on who you go with. With these, I went a little more aggressive and I went just under 2 inches. So I did that because I feel like that's the idea of a Moto bar setup. You want to get your arms a little straighter, especially from the wrist to the forearm. Having the extra like cockeye or the bend in them, if it's too exaggerated, you lose a bit of rigidity there, and that gives you a little less, I feel like it gives you a little bit less control over the bars. So the whole idea with a Moto bar setup is to gain more control out of the motorcycle. So having a little less pullback helps with that. And I mean, I don't think, even for the touring guys, I don't think it's gonna be so dramatic where it's gonna wear your wrists out any more than a 3 inch pullback bar would. So that's why I went with those. Now these are a mid-height bar. We'll be offering them in a higher at about 5.5 inches and a lower at about 2.5 inches. Those will be coming later on, but these will be ready pre-season. They should be anyway. I've got the order placed, so for the production run of these. So these should be ready to go before the season starts, at least here in Canada. I know down in the States or down in the southern more regions, you guys are probably already riding, so but our season starts around maybe end of April, beginning of May, really. So these should be ready to go by then in both finishes. The only thing I have yet to figure out, which is it's really non-consequential because I do machining every day, but I've got to make some fixtures to hold these in the machines because we're gonna have to notch out for the internal throttle by wire, and I'm also gonna be doing the internal wire drilling to specifically measure up to my risers. Now, if you're looking for the ones that come out of the center, I'm not gonna be doing them. You're gonna have to drill them yourself if that's what you want, because that's ugly. So I wanna keep it clean. They're gonna come down the top center of the riser and then out the bottom as they should, hidden for real. So they will be made to mount up exactly to either my pullback or my straight risers. They will be milled out to match the exact contour and shape of the internal wiring of my risers. So there'll be no farting around. You'll put them in. Of course, you got to do all the internal wiring bullshit still, but they will be set up ready to go with the riser. I love these bars. I'm so stoked on them. I can't wait to put them on my own motorcycle. So for the rest of today, I've got a bunch of other stuff to do around the shop too, which I'll be updating you on later. But one of the other things is I'm going to get these bars finished up with the notching and internal wiring and get them set up with my bike so that you guys can see that. But anyways, this is the bar. What should I call it? I don't know. I got to figure out a name. I've called if you've seen on my website, my bars are called the bar raisers. Get it? Like it's a raising the bar. So these are the bar raisers. Raising the bar, you know, nobody makes these, nobody's seen no shit like this before. But so what should I call the bars themselves? I'm not sure yet. Definitely not going to call them gay bars. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, stoked to bring those to you guys. I can't wait to get the production run out, and when I do, I'll update you through the whole process. Thanks for visiting me here on YouTube. I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Step into the mind of Darby Twin.